Welcome students and listeners, viewers to this new lecture on the topic Bhakti Literature, Mystics, Social Reforms and Devotion. We are going to discuss these aspects on your screen, agenda, our points of discussion, meaning and genesis of Bhakti, sources of Bhakti, literature and its importance, what were relations of Guru Shishya, how they preserve literature and transmit the Bhakti traditions. This topic is also very close to my heart, and I will try to explain all those things. However, Bhakti and Sufism, they are not subject to the explanation, rather they are subject to the realization. But at least for some discussions we can have. What is Bhakti? Core elements of Bhakti, as we see. Two pictures are there on your screen. One picture belongs to the Bhakt Prahlad, devotee of Vishnu, and another is Mirabai, devotee of Krishna. So when the idea of Bhakti, the term Bhakti comes to our mind, these pictures also come to my mind. Personal relationship with a chosen deity, Rama, Krishna or Shiva or anyone who have inclination. Then surrender or and selfless or service, that is called the Seva. Both men and women may be saints, emphasis on inner purity, nor ritual expressed through song, poetry, dance or anecdotes, not confined to temples, but blooms in the hearts that love unconditionally, and spiritually rooted in ancient Indian Bhagavata and Shaiva traditions. Then genesis of Bhakti traditions. The Bhakti tradition in India is rooted in ancient Vedic spirituality, but gained significant prominence during the early medieval period as a popular devotional movement. It originated actually in the South India, but it reached to northern India too. The Bhagavad Gita explicitly promotes Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, alongside Jnana, knowledge, and the karma, action. So literally in the theoretical form, we have the evidences of Bhakti in Bhagavad Gita. But Bhagavata Puran also, that were composed in North India. But as a practical aspect and an applied aspect, Bhakti developed in South India in the form of Alvar or Nayanar saints. It was both a spiritual renaissance and a social response to religious orthodoxy, ritualism, casteism, and social inequality. And then medieval Bhakti movement, 12th to 17th century, and the two categories of bhaktis we often realized. One is Sagun Bhakti, that is with form, where Mirabai, Krishna, Tulsidas and Tulsidas were associated with Rama, and Mirabai Krishna. So they have the form, Bhakti has a form. And Nirgun Bhakti, that is formless. For example, Kabir, Ravidas, Nanak, Raidas and so many other people. The Tamil Bhakti movement, 6th to 19th century, the Alvars, devotees of Vishnu, and Nayanars, devotees of Shiva, were the earliest organized Bhakti saints. Key text, Divya Prabandham, Alvar, and Tevaram, Nayanar. These are the two literature texts associated to these two categories of Nayanars and Alvars, and the categories given on your screen. They were the devotees, Nayanars were the devotees of the Lord Shiva, and Alvars were the devotees of the Lord Vishnu. And then philosophical features of Bhakti is monotheism and personal God. The philosophy is the Bhakti saints advocated monotheism, belief in one supreme personal God who is loving, merciful and accessible to all. For example, Tulsidas, Surdas, and then you see divine grace over ritualism, emphasis on grace, that is kripa of God over external rituals, caste or priestly authority. For example, Kabir, Basavana. And then equality and social justice. All humans are equal before God, regardless of caste, gender or class. This was a spiritual form of social egalitarianism. For example, Ravidas, a saint from a lower caste, spoke of casteless divine realm. Or Mirabai, a royal Rajput woman, rejected societal forms to devotee herself to Krishna. Then love and devotion, Bhakti as a path to moksha. Philosophy talks about Bhakti, loving devotion. Bhakti is the loving devotion, is the highest path to liberation, superior to karma, that is ritual action, or jnana, intellectual knowledge. For example, Ramanuja, he advocated Vishish Advaita Vedanta, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who spread ecstatic devotion, particularly Sankirtana, to Krishna as a path to union with God. You see that saints singing and moving around along with the music and some other majira and dhol also on normally in North India or in Bombay. I have also seen on the beaches, they sing the songs of Lord Krishna. I'll show you some videos also if time permits. Inner experience and direct relationships with God. God resides within, hence self-purification and inner experience are crucial. For example, Sant Tukaram and Namdev claim God's presence in the heart. Synthesis of Vedanta and local traditions. Many Bhakti saints merged Advaita Vedanta with local beliefs and practices, making philosophy accessible to the masses. For example, Adi Shankaracharya's non-dualism Advaita influenced and Nayanars and Alvars of South India. Saint like Vigyaneshwar interpreted the Bhagavad Gita in Sant Gyaneshwar Bhagavad Gita in Marathi, blending philosophy with devotion. Then influence of Sufi mysticism. It was also Sufi saints were also in the context of Bhakti saints. There was a notable spiritual and philosophical exchange between Bhakti and Sufi traditions. Both emphasized love, surrender, and personal experience of the divine. For example, Kabir and Dadu Dayal drew from both Islamic Sufism and Hindu Vedanta, rejecting boundaries between religions. Guru Nanak was also highly inspired from Sufi principles. Many Sikh gurus had very cordial relations with many Sufi saints. Then emphasis on simple language and vernacular literature. Bhakti philosophy reached the common people through poetry in regional languages, making spiritual wisdom democratic and inclusive. For example, Tulsidas wrote in Awadhi, Tukaram wrote in Marathi, Kabir wrote in Hindi, and Andal Tamil, Guru Nanak Gurumukhi. So they all encouraged the local vernaculars and local dialects also. Tulsidas written Valmiki's Ramayana, the content of Valmiki's Ramayana in the language of the masses. Promoted informal mode of education through door-to-door preaching, use of vernacular languages for preaching and writing, focus on equality, inclusivity and social reforms, accessibility of spiritual education to women, or rich use of poetry, songs and storytelling, or the Guru Shishya tradition. These are the educational aspects of the Bhakti traditions. Now this is the literature on your screen. You may see Tulsidas, Ramcharitmanas, Kabir, Surdas, Mirabai, Ravidas. They all composed the marvelous Bhakti literature. You are all acquainted with that. And again you see Basavana, Andal and Narsingh Mehta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Alvar saints. They also composed their own views and their own practices in the form of Bhakti literature. Then Bhakti and Sufism translation works are also there. Miratul Hikayat and Sankhya Darshan, Alak Bani, Jyot Niranjan, Hauzul Hayat. We all have discussed this in various lectures also earlier. So we will just move further. Social movement of Bhakti traditions, that's very important aspect. Inclusive education, they talk about the inclusive education. Bhakti saints advocated for the education of all, regardless of caste or gender. For example, Sant Ravidas and Kabir condemned caste-based exclusion from learning. Mirabai, a female Bhakti poet saint, Bhakti poet saint, challenged gender norms through devotional poetry and spiritual learning, because she was a devotee of Lord Krishna and she often claimed that Lord Krishna is my husband. A spiritual husband. So in that sense, she also challenged the patriarchy in the society, where a spiritual monopoly was also claimed by the male members of the society. So she broke it all. Use of vernacular languages. Saints used Hindi, Marathi, Tamil, Kannada, Bengali, Punjabi, etc., making spiritual and moral education accessible to the masses. You may see the pictures of Mirabai and Guru Nanak Ji with his disciples. And amongst the disciples of Guru Nanak also, there were Muslims and there were Hindus both equally. Bala and Mardana, one was Muslim, one was Hindu, and they were the very close disciples of Guru Nanak Dev. Promoted literacy and learning among common people. They Bhakti literature emphasizes on moral and value-based education. Bhakti teachings emphasized compassion, truth, humility, and non-violence. Encouraged ethical education through narratives and moral anecdotes. Experiential and aesthetic learning. Bhakti pedagogy includes songs, dance, music, poetry to include values and devotion. Varkari saints like Tukaram used abhangas, devotional songs, as a means of mass education. They also promote the dialogical and democratic pedagogy, dialogues between Guru and Shishya, teacher and disciple, creating learning spaces based on equality and inquiry. And then again you see many saints integrated or interacted with people from all walks of life, often through satsangs, spiritual assemblies. So satsangs were like, as Sufis used to do that, invited in the khankas, they used to assemblies of the people where they talk about the spiritual matters and spiritual affairs. That is called the satsangs. Even today, satsangs are very popular. Guru Shishya tradition and bhakti movement. Guru was central, learning was dialogic. Ramananda was the guru of Kabir, and Kabir, Ravidas and others, they are the Shishyas, they are the famous Shishyas. Namdev and Gyaneshwar, discipleships through shared devotional practices. Guru Nanak and his successors, gurus, institutionalized education through Gurumukhi script and community learning. So Guru Shishya tradition has occupied a very specific place in Bhakti traditions. Educational tools and methods in Bhakti traditions: Kirtan and Bhajan, devotional singing, storytelling, kathas, poetry and proverbs. Community learning, that is the shared meals, that is called langars, that was started and adopted by the Sikh parampara and Gurudwaras. Satsangs and public discourses. Door-to-door teaching. Preaching was a method of mass education. They acted as first universities of distance education or mobile schools. You can see that they were the precursors of today's ODL, open and distance learning. Then impact of cinema and social reforms is very unique and peculiar. Cinema has used bhakti narratives to promote values like devotion to God, moral value, living, social reform and the dignity of the individual soul. Some important movies inspired by bhakti traditions are that Jai Santoshima. You often have heard about this movie. And Sant Gyaneshwar, then Shirdi ke Sai Baba, Bhakt Prahlad Dhruv. So on such content of the bhakti or the traditions of bhakti, certain Indian movies were also produced. Then again, bhajan is a very important form of bhakti traditions, devotional singing, music as medium to reach inner peace in bhakti traditions. So I have brought for you, just have a glimpse and feel by the heart that how bhakti is disseminated by the music, such devotional singing or music. Just have a glimpse.
सुख के सब साथी दुख में न कोई, सुख के सब साथी दुख में न कोई। मेरे राम तेरा नाम एक साचा दूजा ना कोई। सुख के सब साथी दुख में न कोई।
शाम तेरी बंसी पुकारे राधा नाम, शाम तेरी बंसी पुकारे राधा नाम। लोग करे मीरा को यूं ही बदनाम, लोग करे मीरा को यूं ही बदनाम।
सांवरे की बंसी को बजने से काम, सांवरे की बंसी को बजने से काम। राधा का भी शाम वो तो मीरा का भी शाम, राधा का भी शाम वो तो मीरा का भी शाम।
तरपत हरिदर शन को आज, मन तरपत हरिदर शन को आज। मोरे तुम बिन बिगड़े सगर काज। हो बिनती करत हूँ रखियो लाज, मन तर
So now there is another movement of the Vaishnava Bhakti traditions that is called the ISKCON movement. It stands for the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, established in 1966. Gaudiya Vaishnava Bhakti traditions originally propagated in India by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 16th century. Loving devotions, Prem Bhakti to Lord Krishna, chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Harinama Sankirtana, street chanting and public discourses to spread Krishna consciousness. So often if you went to the sea places or seasides or some roadsides also, you may see these saints are there, they just enjoy that tradition by singing and dancing. So you just have a glimpse of these people also.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
So another aspect of Bhakti tradition is feminism and Bhakti traditions. Devi Puja refers to worship of the Divine Mother in her many forms such as Durga, Kali, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Parvati and others. It is central to Shaktism, that is Shakta tradition, a major stream of Hindu spirituality that views Shakti, energy or power, as the supreme divine force. Bhakti traditions encourage the female power and respectable status of women in the society. It also promoted equality and dignity of women by Hindi devotional songs and movies based on Shakti themes. So here you can also see celebrating women Shakti through Bhakti of Devi Mata. Bhakti traditions also advocated feminism and discouraged gender-based discrimination in the matters of devotion and spiritual intimacy with divine. So with courtesy to the YouTube videos, I have also brought for you. Just have a glimpse.
नाम रे सबसे बड़ा तेरा नाम, शेरों वाली ऊंचे डेरों वाली बिगड़े बना दे मेरे काम। नाम रे
नाम रे सबसे बड़ा तेरा नाम, हो शेरों वाली ऊंचे डेरों वाली बिगड़े बना दे मेरे काम। नाम रे
सारे जग में एक ठिकाना, सारे गम के मारों का। सारे जग में एक ठिकाना, सारे गम के मारों का। रास्ता देख रही है माता अपनी आग के तारों का। रास्ता देख रही है माता अपनी आग के तारों का। मस्त हवाओं का एक झोंका ये संदेशा लाया है, चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। जय माता दी, जय माता दी, जय माता दी कहते जाओ। जय माता दी, जय माता दी, जय माता दी।
So these are the contributions of the Bhakti saints. I hope you enjoy it and you also had a glimpse of how powerful the Bhakti traditions and how important its role in Indian knowledge traditions in the form of performance and applied aspect apart from the theoretical collections of the treasures of knowledge in the form of books. So Bhaktiism and Sufism enlightened those inner aspects of human compositions in the form of special literatures that connects the heart to another heart. So here is the contribution of the Bhakti saints by Ramanujam, Basavan, Gyaneshwar, Namdev. We have already discussed it. Then so many other saints are there, Chaitanya Prabhu, Tulsidas, Surdas, Vallabhacharya, Eknath. They composed the immense stockpile of literature. Now, social reforms through poetry by the songs of Kabir and Lalan Geetika by Lalan Fakir of Bengal. Kabir is a celebrated poet and most powerful voice of Bhakti movements for social reforms and criticism of religious superstitions both in Hindus and Muslims apart or alike in the name of religion. Whatever traditional orthodoxy was there, so Kabir also denounced it and also he criticized it in both the religions. His couplets are sung by major singer of all the ages. Lalan Fakir, another saint of Bengal, the Bauls of Bengal, the most renowned Baul singer of Bengal can be better expressed as Kabir of Bengal, who equally criticized social evils and religious dogmas in his songs. So, to conclude, we may say the Bhakti traditions in India were not only religious movements but also powerful educational traditions. Through poetry, songs, social engagement, and spiritual mentorship, they taught values, equality, critical thinking, emotional development, and devotion. And Bhakti remains a living pedagogy of the heart, mind, and soul. These are the connecting forces. The Bhakti movement's philosophy was inclusive, experiential, and reformative, bridging the gap between the divine and the human. And it challenged orthodoxy and laid the foundation for a more ethical, emotional, and egalitarian spiritual culture of India. So, certain acknowledgements and thanks to YouTube to allow us for educational purposes. And these are the suggested readings you may go through. And with these beautiful lines of late Irfan Khan, the beautiful actor of Indian cinema, जिंदगी छोटी नहीं होती, लोग जीना ही देर से शुरू करते हैं, जब तक रास्ते समझ आते हैं तब तक लौटने का वक्त हो जाता है. So thank you very much and see you in the next lecture. God bless you. Take care.